Hi guys, I'm ExactChaos and welcome back to another episode of Transport Fever. Okay, so the few changes we've made, or the that we've done in the previous episode, did us do quite well. So already we can see the construction material is boosting quite a lot over here. We've pretty much done most of this, fulfilled the whole demand. Docking, we've fulfilled. Docking, we fulfilled the full demand, so that those trucks will be pretty useless. So as I discussed, I think we need to go on to Waltham Abbey. But of course, the other thing we can do is we can just link up a passenger train and see some internal public transport lines, and that would actually result in a growth in the demand for this. So this would obviously have a passenger transport demand that could be quite profitable over this distance, but in addition it will also stimulate the demand for construction material, so that's quite good. So I think that is actually something that we should do, and I'm also thinking it can be a pretty elaborate new line that runs all the way from New Milton through South Kirkby and Moorthorpe, through Radstock, through Dorking, through Waltham Abbey, through Padiham, alongside Wimbledon, and provide some connections, cross the river, run through here and join up at Darlington, and even have a branch off over here to Clitheroe, I think. But anyway, I think that is a pretty ambitious project and something we should get started on straight away. The other thing that I noticed was, whoa, look at all the crude. Okay, so this is now producing tons of crude oil. Our trains are full, right? So this bad boy will be absolutely full. Going back, we can even consider adding some more wagons to it. This one on the other hand is not quite full, it's just maintaining that 54, because the 54 is feeding all of the demand for New Milton along with all the demand for the power plant, so it's not feeding any more demand. What we effectively need to do is potentially provide a road through here linking up there that could feed Exmouth or Exmouth, or however you would like to pronounce it. And I think that should be our first point of our first job, because that can make this line even more profitable. Before we jump into that, I would like to have a quick look at how profitable that line is, just as it is. It's a rail line. So as it stands, we're almost doing 4 million on that one, and I'm glad to see that the stone construction material line is up to around 2 million as well. But I think this one can go up to at least 5 million or so if we actually add a truck line that runs from here across over there and provide some distribution on that side. It feels like a little bit of cheating, or gaming at least, because wouldn't you just rather do it around this side? But I need to get the train full, so we'll see how that goes. What are we getting? A new vehicle. Look at that, Ford 8 in bulk, and the tanker version, as well as a new the RE44 and the flat and the RE44 electric locomotive. So I think first things first, what I'm going to do before we start on that elaborate scheme, I'm going to start building a bit of a freight line, country road freight line through here, around here, and join it up on there. And to be very honest with you, that could potentially lead to us to have some other potential uses for the fertilizer at some point. Oh, it's actually got a bit of a crossing, big crossing thing going on over there. So look at our money. The money we're making is great. Oh, in the last episode we also paid off all our debt, for all of those of you that were worried that we're not doing that. Okay, so what I want to do is have a quick look. Where are the industrial buildings? All the way through here. So let's see about the placement of something like that. It would actually cover all of it. So let's pop in one bus stop over there where we can drop off from that all the way through there. So let us start by adding a line. Yes, just the one line please, and it'll run from New Milton Transfer into Queensway in Exmouth. So what this one will be is it'll be road freight Exmouth fuel. There we go. Let me add a depot over here. I just want to make sure we've got it covered nicely. So let's grab a depot. Well, the last thing I click. So let's add a depot. Yeah, I think that's a decent spot for a depot right there, and we'll grab a few road vehicles. I think these are pretty slow, right? They should be top speed, so I don't know why we would even consider using them. The Studebaker, I'm looking for the variant that does fuel. So there you go, the fuel Studebaker, 13 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them to start the line with. And we are after the road freight Exmouth fuel. And get going straight away. And I'm hoping that that'll improve our demand and improve the loading on these rail lines, and accordingly give us much more money. Okay, so also what I want to do is I want to start work on the elaborate rail scheme, passenger rail scheme that should be covering all of these things. And it's not the greatest. If I look at the contours over here, it is really not the greatest to be running a rail over here. But what I'm thinking is we'll probably do the stations over here, and I think probably might even do a freight station next to it. But we'll do the passenger station over here. We'll run it through here, down here on this side, and then we'll run it, I'm not too sure whether we go there or there, and run it through to Radstock on this side somewhere. And then I'm thinking this side in here, up here somewhere, we'll run it through over there and to Padiham and so on. But I think first thing is first, we will need to connect up Dorking, Radstock, South Kirkby, Moorthorpe and New Milton, and we'll start this line in New Milton. Okay, so get me a passenger rail station, this new Art Deco kind of building over here, and we're going with the high-speed stuff. We'll just do a nice and straight one onto kind of this road over here. Maybe we'll look into curving it a little bit, something like that. Yeah, that's gonna be perfect. Just a little bit of a curve on it, just to give us a little bit of room to make our turn in that direction. If we add some more curve to it and we do this, I think that will be pretty decent too. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. So let's pop that in there. This is our station for New Milton, and now let's grab the high-speed rail with catenary. Actually, to be honest, we want to stay on this side of the road, so why do we need to do the crossings? So let's just stay on this side of the road, somewhere over here. I'm gonna try and get it as flat as possible. I think that's pretty decent. Oops, and we'll link up this. We'll link up the pairing line right there, and I think about 150 kilometers an hour out of the station is not bad at all, and that is fairly flat too, so we'll keep extending that direction. Want to run it up here. I don't mind a little bit of fill because it is going uphill and it needs to be a gradual up. It's a nice little section running at 300 kilometers an hour. if we want to implement some speedy trains in the future. Okay, let's build the next station over here. This one will be a straight one, and I'm gonna, shall I pop it in like this though, on the edge of that one, or no, we'll do that. We will do that, and we will tie into it ever so nicely. We'll do that. That just looks better. So give me these roads. So I want to do this and that and that and that. That's pretty decent actually. Okay, so let's see about tying in. We'll run it all the way through there. Bring it up a little, something like that. Yeah, that's good. There's a bit of a cut there, but I think that is just natural. 300 into 170 into the station at 170, which is decent, very, very decent. Okay, so we're pointing in that direction, so I'm thinking what we do is we wrap around on that side. We'll go through here and have our station and the Radstock over there. So let's see about how we shoot out through here straight, or fairly straight at least. I think that's good. Straight line out of there. Need to wrap it a little, and of course what's happening now is we are needing to build major embankments. So if we drop that down, can we? Yeah, so these embankments are pretty tough though. It's almost bridges here, man, almost bridges. So let's just drop it down as quickly as we can. Yeah, I think that is a pretty decent way of handling it. That looks very good. It drops down from 300 to 200 kilometers an hour, but I think that is a very gradual way of dealing with that. So it does reduce the speed quite significantly, but in my mind nothing too major. Okay, nothing too major as it stands with our current technology. So I don't want these stretches to be too long. I don't want them to cut too deeply in there. Okay, the question however now is, do we cut it across this side or cut it across that side? So maybe what we do is we turn it in like this to go around here and in that way. Yeah, I think that's better. So it might not have done, we should have maybe just done straight through here. Maybe I'll trim it back a little bit and we'll do that. So sorry about that. I'm gonna trim it back like that, and we're just gonna run it straight through there. This is a bit of a mistake in doing it the way we did it. It's gonna go straight down. Oops. Straight down over there, and yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, that's very gradual, to be honest. That's why it's staying at 300. How is this going? Why are we going deep into the ground? Let's just do that. Okay, good stuff. A nice 300 section. Okay, now we're going to start climbing here. And that doesn't look bad at all. It's cutting a little bit. Can we? Wow. Can even do better. I don't know why it's doing the weird cutting if it doesn't actually require the cut to be there. Yeah, this is a pretty good stretch. Okay, now our station over here, I'm going to put it in there. So let me grab that. Oh, look at our money. We're going to be able to put lots of nice train lines on here. Okay, now on this one I'm thinking we probably need to run it somewhere over here. Wow, look at that. To get it flat, it's going to be crazy. If we give it a curve, right, is that going to be better? No, it's not. So let's just make it straight. We'll bring it out to here somewhere, like something like that, which might not be ideal, and then we'll come in and turn in like that. That's fine. Give me a bit of road over here. Actually, let's do this as a road. Like that, and we will tie that one in over there, and then we'll leave this spot over here for our station. And I might actually do another big tram station, right, like that. That's a good spot over there. Good. Now let's finish off this rail track. Actually, let's get this guy to bend out of there. 200 is absolutely fine. No. Yeah, that's great stuff. And now like this. Ooh, that's a bit of a slow bend. Bit of a slow bend around that corner over there. Let's see if we can't. No, it's going to be a slow bend. It's going to be a slow bend, so that's fine. It's going into a station at least, so not great for our speed. 95 around this bend is not great. But to be honest, it could allow a bypass in future quite easily. Quite easily allow a bypass in the future. Okay, so now what I don't want is for us to cut this entire hill in half. So I'm just going to go like that. So we will have to make our piece with a cut due to the station location, but hopefully from there we can wrap it around without doing too much of a cut, so, or too much of a fill. We drop it down. That's pretty good. At around 150 around this bend, I am thinking that's fine. And now we'll do about 150 bend back in that direction. Yeah, like that's fine. Can we however raise it a bit? That is perfect, guys. That is perfect. So why did you want to do the big cut and fill thing? Perfect through there. Again, I don't want a massive cut and fill, so that's fine. It's perfect. I don't know why it does that big cut fill thing if it's not necessary. Now we're obviously going to start. Actually, let's before we do that, let's get our station location in Dorking, and it'll be over here somewhere. So again, we're going to struggle with cut and fills into mountain sides and things like that. So if we pop it in, should we on the other hand do it something like this? Is that better for us? It's okay, it might be okay, but that's going to result in a pretty hefty. Well, we've got a lot of room to get this turn in here, but it's a little bit better than going straight on the contours. Now we're kind of hitting them at an angle. Okay, so that's okay. So let me just add a few roads in there. So again, I like kind of running it, and we can't get the steep turn off like that. So I like kind of to run them like this, parallel with the rail. Yeah, something like that. On this side I might actually have my station, and what we can do is just bring it off like that and see how we go with that. Yeah, that's fine. So let me pop in my station, see if that fits over there. Oh man, it doesn't actually fit over there. So let's pop that out and fit the station in first. Yeah, that's the station I want. And now we'll see about popping in a piece of a road through here without demolishing that building. Yeah, that's fine. Even if it is at an angle like that, that should be fine. Okay, station is in there. Now let's quickly link up these rails again. Do something like that. Can we? Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. I like that. Okay, now start cutting straight. Where is my? Yeah, that's fine. It's gonna be fine. Absolutely fine. So let's bring in the other line. There we go. Now let's meet these two together. I think that's okay. To get them nice and smooth, they need a bit of a section through there. Perfect. Look at that. That is so nice and gradual, even with this this funny shape we've got going on over here. Now the last stretch I'm interested in is going to actually, wow, look at all of that. I might even have to add another train to this, but I think the construction materials are only just holding, so that's okay. Let me just finish off this section. Let me finish off this section, and we'll end it off going over there. This is, however, going to be pretty steep stuff. Can we drop it down a little? We can indeed drop it down a little. Is that okay? That's okay. Let's do that. Let's get the partner rail going through there. Perfect stuff. Now let's see about straightening it up through here. Can we? Okay, so we've only got the one option if we want to meet the road there. So we'll do that. We'll do a bit of a cut through here to get that done. Now we'll just keep running straight. But I am interested in making sure that we do the bare minimum in terms of cut and fill, so we don't do too long sections, but we want it to be gradual, something like that. Good stuff. And now let's turn it back in that direction, that, like that. Okay, perfect. And we'll meet over here somewhere. Get our rail station up and running. Again, I think we should probably meet it like this, right? And that does have a little bit of a tough contour to deal with, but I think we'll be fine. So we'll do that. We'll do that. This is going to be crappy for us in terms of a little station. Let's see if we can't. Oh, we can squeeze it. We can squeeze it right there. Perfect. What I'm going to do is I'm going to trim these back a little bit and not kink them quite yet. And now I'm going to start kinking them from this side. Something like that. And yes, there's not much else apart from that major embankment that we can do. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Do that tie-in. Yeah, that's a perfect. It's probably going to look a little bit with a kink over there, but that's pretty decent. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I am going to actually, what are you doing, guy? Just want to link it through like that. All of these are okay. Oops, 40 million in the bank. That's okay. This is okay, and end it off over here. With that one like so. So let me add a few signals. So there's a signal. Signals over here. We'll have signals over there. Signals right over here somewhere. Get signals out of here. Somewhere over here. This is a nice long stretch. Somewhere over there. Here. Just before we reach the station. Right after. Like that and like that. Somewhere over here. Right here and right there. Just before we reach the station. Over there and over there. Just outside the station. Like that and like that. At the road crossing. Over here and over there. Somewhere about halfway over there and over there, and just before you reach the station. Okay, perfect. I want to add, I think this side is probably not going to be the side that extends for a while. So what I want to do is actually add a bit of not sure if we can, how will be the best way to add. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to grab me some of this. I'm going to create the crossing, and then off to the one side I'm going to do the depot. Something like this, right? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie it in over there and not be able to tie it in on the other one. Around the corner, and a very tight tie-in over here is also fine, as long as we can make it work. Now that's not actually a tie-in. We can't make it work. Well, what we can potentially do is do that. So let's just do that. There we go. That is it for us. Okay, perfect. So what we'll do is actually add the line. And how many trains would we want on this line? 1, 2, 3, 4. I think 4 trains on this line should be sufficient. Using the Flying Scotsman, I think, is what I'm after. Or maybe have another look at new tank wagons and stake cars. And pretty decent. The rail bus, that's a pretty crappy vehicle. And then big barges. Nice. Nice. Viola and Exalp. Okay, cool. So let's do that line. It's just one line, and we'll start it at New Milton. We'll run it to South Kirkby, Radstock, Dorking, and end at Waltham Abbey. Come back to Dorking, come back to Radstock Central, oops, what did I do? Cancel. Let's take off all of these and let's start it again because I clicked something that I shouldn't have. Okay, so we'll go on New Milton, we'll go at South Kirkby, we'll go at Radstock. I probably picked up the other one. We'll go Dorking, yeah, that's better, and we'll end up at Waltham Abbey, and we'll go back to Dorking, and we'll go back to Radstock, and we will go back to South Kirkby, and there you go. So this line is going to be our passenger train, New Milton to Waltham, right? New Milton, Waltham Abbey. New Milton to Waltham Abbey. There we go. That is pretty good. So now let's buy some trains, and since we've got 50 million, we're going to be able to do some decent trains on this. So let's have another quick look at this. So that's 120 on the Flying Scotsman. It costs 4 million and it is an operating cost of around 700,000 a year. All of these, oh, this is a quick one, the Class A4, but the Class A4, wow, maybe we should look into the Class A4. What about any of these? Ooh, 125, look at this one. Shall we do an electric train? 125. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. That is a decent electric train at 125. It is cheaper than the Class A4. Lightweight locomotive for fast passenger trains. This first in Switzerland equipped with bogies. I think we'll do that. Let's do. Let us do an electric passenger train. So that's 125. It's got 1,900. It's very similar to this one. It's just got lower operating cost and a longer lifespan. So I'm definitely going to go electric on this one. So let's do that. Let's do a nice blue color. I want a bit of a blue train, so let's add that one to the mix. And then what I want is the BC4, I think is what I'm after. So it's going to run at 120 regardless. But the BC4 is pretty good. So let's add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of them. 7, 8. 8 of them. Let's add 8 of them to the mix. And let us add a few extras. 1, 2, 3. There you go. Oh, exactly enough. And let us immediately set this train free on the new passenger line. Get going. So train 15. So this bad boy I'm going to let go. Where's the midpoint here? It is Radstock. So as soon as it reaches Radstock, I'll add the next one to the train, and so on and so on and so on. So let me just first do the spacing of this. So as soon as they reach Radstock, I'll let the next train go and let the next train go. And I'm gonna pay a hell of a lot of money waiting for these to start working. And I need to do the local passenger distribution also. And this should hopefully see all of these towns start to grow. Oh, I still wanted to see if that is a nice and blue train over there. Okay. Yeah, so just before it reaches Radstock, I'll let the next one go. It's going to take a little bit of time, so let's speed it up a little. Yeah, so just before it gets to Radstock, I want to let it go. It's cost me all of $50 million to purchase these train sets. but I think they'll be sufficient for the time being. And it actually reaches its 120, especially on that long stretch over there. Okay, and it is getting to Radstock, so please let the next train leave. So now, as this one reaches Waltham Abbey, I should get that one. That one should be close to Radstock, and I'll release the next one. And then when this one gets back to Radstock, I'll release the final one. And then this one should be at Radstock too. Some road vehicles need replacing. I should probably have a look at that at some point when I have money again. Okay, getting to Dorking. So that part, that northern section, if that is north, runs a little bit better than the southern section over here. Yeah, I think our spacing is working not too badly. Not too badly. Good stuff. So just before that reaches Waltham Abbey, we'll need to release this one. There, so I'll need to release it anyway, even though this one is not close to Radstock yet. Okay, so when that one reaches Radstock again, I need to release the final one. Yeah, it's a very slow start on this side. This little section over here is extremely slow. The vehicles are struggling to get to the 120 max, while that section over there runs quite well. So certainly we've got too many bends and things over here. Almost getting into Radstock. Yes, and let it go. Okay, so I think they're pretty well spaced. So what I'm going to finish off this episode with is quickly do the passenger distribution, the local passenger distribution, and I'm going to start at the ends kind of thing. Do New Milton. So let me upgrade the road a little bit. Just like that, just so we've got a decent kind of road working over here. I'm gonna cut this one in there somehow. Did not want to do that. I'd rather just do that. How cool does that look? Okay, so now let me grab a quick passenger distribution here. Pop up that one. Yeah, in there, and please give me some of these things, electric please. So I'm thinking of actually doing the trams, the electric trams. So let me pop in something over there. We'll move, let's do something over here. So for the time being, and then in the future I can extend it that way, then we'll actually come straight into town. I'll pop it in over here somewhere. Yeah, we'll do something over there on that edge, and we'll wrap it right away here this way. We'll do a little something, say somewhere over here, and that's be the end of it. Give me a depot please. Tram depot would be fine. Where? Actually want to put it around the corner just like this. There we go. Then I quickly need to upgrade the roads to add electric tram track. Sorry, that's not what I want. I want this, that, this, through there, up here, around there, back in this direction, that little section all that way, and all the way over there. There we go. That's pretty decent. So now I can pop into lines. Quickly pop into lines, and then I think I'm going to call it an episode. So 2 lines over here. We will start here at New Milton West, run it all the way through like this, and my friend, you would need to, so this is, oops, rename, local passenger distribution, New Milton 1, New Milton 1. Okay, and now this one is the opposite direction, that way, that way, that way, this way, that way, that way, and there we go. And this will be local passenger distribution, New Milton 2. There we go. So let us purchase a few trams for these to run on. These ones, the T1s, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and New Milton 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and New Milton 2. So there you go. It should all, I know that kind of, but now they'll just have to run in this general direction. So that should work quite well in fixing this. So I'll quickly fix the others as a first thing in our next episode, but I'm going to put a cut in here. So I'm ExactChaos, and just before we leave, I just wanted to have a quick look at what is happening over here. We are doing nicely with that, which I am hoping means that this train should be much fuller. It's not as full as all the way, but what I think is that this would mean that this line is actually making pretty decent money, around 5 to 6 million a year, which is awesome. Very awesome for us. Okay guys, I'm ExactChaos, and this has been Transport Fever Exactly. If you've enjoyed this episode as much as I have, please give me a thumbs up and leave me some comments below and subscribe to the channel. Thank you. Bye bye.